So everyone, I think everyone joined the meeting. So our subject is object-oriented programming. Our subject is object-oriented programming using C++. Wait for some time. Lovely Sarkar, mute yourself. So our teaching mode is online due to corona pandemic. So first of all, I wish you all of you good morning. Don't say anything. Lovely, mute yourself. Lovely, mute yourself. Lovely, can you hear me? Lovely, 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 mute yourself. Lovely, hello. So object oriented programming using C++. What book you have to follow? You have to follow the book Herbert Shield, Tata McGraw-Hill. I think everyone can see the copy. Anyone answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first, from the first year you have lovely. Yes, lovely is now muted herself. So you have to send your roll number. Today 79 people are attending, students are attending my classes. So later on in the WhatsApp group you will send your roll number who are present, who have attended the class. Okay, later on, not now. So from first year you have learned the C programming language. I don't know what is the concept of C programming. So I will not tell anything more about C programming, but I will start from very basic conception. What is a program? So what is a program? You write down. Maybe many of you know what is a program, but I will give a very minimized definition. Always everywhere where you are asked what is a program, you tell that. In Viva also maybe you are asked what is a program. A set of instructions is a program. A set of instructions can be written in such a way that it will be called a algorithm, or you may present it by flowchart. What is an algorithm? When the instructions are written in simple English language, then it is called a algorithm. Okay? When a program is written in simple English language following some principles, Sonam Singh, mute yourself. Then it is called an algorithm. And what is a flowchart? You have already know what is a flowchart. A flowchart is the pictorial representation of the instructions. Flowchart is a pictorial representation of the instructions. So instructions can be written in algorithm wise also. A flowchart, you can write a flowchart or draw a flowchart for all the instructions also. So when you will write in simple English language following some principles, then it will be an algorithm. When you will draw the instructions using some graphical symbol, then it is a flowchart. Okay, what is a program? A program is a set of instructions. You can write down everything today's detail will be asked in Viva. You are having a lab for this subject. For the time being, lab will not take place. So only the theory portion you have to clear your concept. Now, how does the program work in our machine? So you have bought a machine, a naked machine only with a operating system. You have written some instructions. Will it run? No, it will not run. So to run a program, to compile a program, what you need? You need a compiler. You need a compiler. What is a compiler? A compiler converts high-level data, high-level language to machine language. Okay? A compiler converts high-level language to machine language. Now, what is high-level language? C++ is a high-level language. Nowadays C is called a middle-level language. Java is high-level language. Someone is talking? Okay. So now C++ is high-level language. Now you need to convert your high-level language to machine language. So high-level language to machine language. So that will be the principle of compiler. Now, what is the compiler? You will work in laboratory. You will work on GCC compiler based on Unix operating system. Now there are other compiler also for Windows version, that is Turbo C, Borland C++. These things are there. More are there. You may choose any one and you can write your code, and as I will show you how to write the code in C++, you can compile and you can run, and you can see what is the. So this page is covered, everything written. Now we are having also interpreter. HTML, Java, JavaScript, not Java, JavaScript, HTML, DHTML, CSS, then XML. These things needs interpreter to install in your machine. Interpreter, what does it do? It interprets each and every line before compilation. Whenever you will write, it interprets the data. And assembler is there. Assembler is called when you are electrical students, you will write instructions on microprocessor. Then microprocessor will need assembler. So when assembler converts assembler converts assembly language to machine language. Okay, assembler converts assembly language to machine language. So microprocessor, you will do programming on microprocessor 8086 in your other classes. Then you will need assembly language to machine language. For that you will need an assembler. Okay, these are the basic concepts. Don't leave the room and join again. Just keep patience. Keep patience until the class is over. I will not take more than 1 hour, because online mode more than 1 hour class, taking one hour class is tough. Data is also needed. So I will take not more than 1 hour. 1 hour I will take. Don't talk, mute yourself. Don't talk, mute yourself. Now write a program to add numbers in C. Add 2 numbers in C. Write a program to add 2 numbers in C. So what is there? What is the how to do? Hash include stdio.h, preprocessor directive. Now also we write .h. What is .h? If I don't write .h, then I have to write hash include stdio using namespace standard. So these things I have to write if I don't write .h. So what does it mean? Namespace. Namespace, you will create your own namespace. I will tell everything about namespace. Namespace is a name of namespace. Namespace is the name of a namespace. The namespace name is std. std is standard. So under this standard namespace, stdio is residing. Everything printf, scanf, everything comes under this stdio. Now this is the format. I have to write a C program, hash include stdio include namespace standard or stdio.h, then main function. Then I will declare a variable, declaration of a variable. What is this? This is data type. This is the name of the variable. This is the value assigned to that variable. This is data type. This is the name of the variable. This is the value assigned to that variable. This type of things is called compile time initialization. So write down what is compile time initialization. Compile time initialization. So this type of initialization is called compile time initialization. You will be asked, what is compile time initialization? Then you have to write down int a equal to 10 or any value or any name of the variable you will write, and this is compile time initialization. Another is runtime initialization. In C++ we will follow runtime initialization. Sometime we will follow compile time, sometime we will follow runtime initialization. Then another variable is declared int c. Then c equal to a plus b. That means c equal to 30. Now printf sum is %d c. Bracket close. Another way to do this program, int main, int ab, int c, printf enter 2 numbers, scanf, %d, ampersand a, ampersand b. This is called runtime initialization. So in runtime you are initializing the value of the variable. Okay. So in runtime scanf, whenever you are using scanf to enter the value of the variables using scanf, you will be initializing the value of the variable runtime. Now C equal to A plus B, printf sum is %dc. So everyone got? This is the way of doing a program in C. Now how will I do it in C++? In C++, same program. How to do? Hash include IOStream. Now this is IOStream. Don't give any underline when you will write the program. Just IOStream. For demonstration I have given underline to make you understand IOStream. Using name space standard int main int a b c cout enter two values and L. This is end L, E N D L. C in A double greater than B. C equal to A plus B. C out sum is C. Complete. So this is the way you have to do. So only the difference between C and C++, here you have to use C out, here you have to use C name to enter, to display anything on the screen. To display anything on the screen, enter C out. C out is an object. I will give you the definition of C out. C in, the suppose less than manipulator, greater than manipulator, this end L. After you use in C /n, remember /n, printf hello /n, you used this one, terminator. This is this, take the cursor in the next line. So this is the end L. This is also end line. This means end line. After writing C out double less than quote, whatever in the quote you will write, the same thing will be displayed on the screen. So on the screen it will display, enter two variables, and then the cursor will come out in the next line. Then you have entered C in double greater than A double greater than B. If multiple variables are there in a single line, you can write C in double greater than A double greater than B double greater than C. Okay? And if single variable there, C in double greater than A semicolon. Semicolon, don't forget to give semicolon. Then C equal to A plus B, C out sum is C. Bracket close, program is over. Now write down the note. What is C out, C in? Write down double less than symbol or C out. First write down C out. C out is an object. C out is an object of IOStream class. C out is an object of IOStream class which is used to display output in monitor. C out is an object of IOStream class which is used to display output in monitor. Double less than or insertion operator. So this is called This is called insertion operator. Double less than or insertion operator is a binary operator using two operands. What are the two operands? Cout and a string or constant. What are the two operands? Cout or a string and constant. That means cout double less than symbol hello. So hello is a operand. Cout is an operand. In between there is a double less than symbol. Double less than symbol is an insertion operator. Insertion operator is a binary operator using two operands, cout and string or constant. Okay. What is Cin? Write down. Cin is an object of iStream class. Cin is an object of iStream class with extraction operator. With extraction operator. This is called extraction operator. Cin is an object of iStream class with extraction operator. What is endl? Endl, 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 equal to end line. Endl means end line. End line is a manipulator. End line is a manipulator. Okay. Now, C. What is C? C and C++ difference you have to write. I don't know what is the question type of online exam. Maybe on everything has been normal. Then you have to sit in the exam hall. Then the question pattern will ask you what is the difference between C and C++. C is a structured programming. C++ is an object-oriented programming. Structured programming means you will write down some statements or instructions in a simple English language following some loops, while loop, if else loop, these things you will use and you will write a structured programming. Structured to modify a structured programming is a tedious job. So what are the drawbacks of structured programming? It can be used only in very small program. Structured programming can be used only in very small program. If the same statement sequence is needed at different locations, if the same statement sequence is needed at different locations within the program, the sequence must be copied. If an error needs to be modified, every copy needs to be modified. These are the drawbacks of structured programming. Structured programming can be two types: procedural programming, object-oriented programming. In procedural programming, what is a procedural programming? With this one, you are able to combine sequence of calling statements into a single phase. Structured programming, procedural programming, that means modification, the drawbacks of the structured programming is inside the procedural programming. Now, object-oriented programming, I will describe the object-oriented programming, that is C++ now. Okay. Object object oriented programming. Now we have entered into the core of C++. First, let us see how a typical object oriented program look alike. So we will start with hash include IOStream using namespace standard. Now suppose add the same program. So we will write class add. Then we will write private int a b, public void add, void result, void sum. Change the name sum. Okay, this is sum, SUM. Okay, let me rewrite sum, void result. This is function. Okay, we are writing function name void sum, void result. Now give a bracket, give a semicolon. Now we will write void add double colon, void add double colon sum. Cout enter two numbers, C in A B, void add result, Cout sum is A plus B. Up to this you have written. I will make you understand, don't worry. What is happening I will describe. Class add opening curly bracket private colon int a comma b semicolon, public colon void sum function semicolon, void result another function semicolon, closing curly bracket, then besides that a semicolon, close. This is class has been closed. Void add double colon sum, opening curly bracket, Cout enter two numbers semicolon, C in double greater than symbol A double greater than symbol B semicolon, void add double colon result, then opening curly bracket, Cout sum is A plus B. So this is the without using third variable how to add two numbers. Now int we have not written main. Okay, now we will write main. So what is the class name? Class name is add. We will create an object of add class ob1 dot sum, ob1 dot result. Okay, this is the complete program. Now I am describing what is a class. Mute. So in object-oriented programming, everything is combined into a class. What is everything? Everything is your these things, data. int is a integer type. A and B are integer type of data. Then this is function. Sum and result are function. So functions and data are combined together into a structure. This is class. What is the name of the class? Name of the class is add. So class is a keyword and add is the name of the class. This will depend on your choice. You can give any name, but it should be meaningful. Depending on the problem given to you, you will decide the class name, but class will be a keyword. Now what is class? We declare int a semicolon. So a is the name of the variable and int is the name of the data type. So we are writing class add, and after that in main function we write add ob1. Now what is ob1? ob1 is a variable of the data type add. So add has become a abstract data type. So it is a data type. Okay, abstract data type. Abstract data type in small form it is called ADT. So add has become abstract data type. Whenever you are using class keyword and create something, it becomes an abstract data type. int a is a variable of integer type of data. Now add is ob1 is a variable of what type of data type? Add. So add class is basically a data type. Now private, public, protected. Private, public, protected. These are called access specifier. What are they? They are access specifier. So private, public, protected, they are access specifier. This private I have written here private, but this is not mandatory. You can write or you may not write. If you don't write, by default data are taken private. Okay, everything cannot be written. You write down by default in class data is private. You may write, nobody writes private, but for the first time I am writing private for this because this is the first class. You may write, it does not give any error. It does not give any error, but don't write. Don't write private class add opening curly braces int ab. Okay, this will be the perfect format. That means by default data is private in a class. In object oriented programming, by default data is private. Now public, you have to write public, because without public thing we cannot access inside the whatever inside the class. So this is a data type which is a combination of data and function. In public, always in public we write functions. Void sum is a function, void result is another function. Okay, I can write the body of the sum function inside the class. I can write the body of the result function inside the class. In that case, I don't need this operator. Double colon is an operator. What is double colon? Double colon is called scope resolution operator. Double colon is called scope resolution operator. Okay, now inside the class what does it contain? Data and function. If you make any data, that suppose public colon int a, you are making a data public which will be visible outside the class also. Now what is the property of the class? It is hiding the data. Hiding the data means A and B are hidden. A and B can only be seen inside the class, not outside the class. What is the inside the class? This opening curly brace, this closing curly brace, then semicolon. Inside this area, this is the inside the class, and outside this semicolon, closing curly braces, whatever is, this is the outside the class. Now, void, how to write a body of a function outside the class. If you don't write the body of a function inside the class, then you have to write the body of the function outside the class. Now what is the format? This is the return type of the function. So return type of the function is void. So I have written void. Then go to class name. Class name has come add. Then give scope resolution operator. Then the function name sum. The name of the function sum. In this way you have to write the body of the function, then opening curly brace, inside write whatever statements you want to write, then closing curly brace. Again void is the return type of the result function, then the class name is add, then scope resolution operator, then result, and we have written the. This way you have to use scope resolution operator to write the function. Scope, whenever you are using scope resolution operator, that means you are inside the class. Okay, whenever you are using the scope resolution operator, that means you are accessing the properties of the inside the class. Now we have to create an object. OB1 is an object. Object oriented programming. Everything you do with the help of the object. How to create the object? Class name, then variable name. Class name, then variable name. Class name is add OB1. So OB1 has become the object of type of add. Now what is this OB1 dot? You are calling the sum function using the dot operator. So this is dot operator. Okay, OB1 dot sum, OB1 dot result. So whenever we are calling OB1 dot sum, in compile, you will compile the program, you run the program, just it will start running from the main, not from the class. It will start its compilation from the main function. So it will create a class of OB1, add it will create an object OB1, it will call the sum. So whatever inside the sum function is there, enter two values, you will enter two values, then it will call result function, result will add the number and it will show you. Okay, now up to this, what is your question? Everyone understood or not? I can explain again and again. Now unmute and tell. Clear? Clear?
Some of the instructions you can see. We weren't able to see some of the instructions, some of the wording we weren't able to see. So my understanding what you were trying to say was very difficult. Could you show us that part of the function where void add is double colon or scope operator as well?
I am not getting you. You are not you are not seeing the copy. Saptadeep, no, whole copy I cannot show you because yes, I will change. I am taking the class in mobile, so in mobile only this much comes. So I will change the, maybe on next week I will shift to laptop, and I will write the whole program and I will give you copy. Now for the time being, let me write a whole program in C and the same thing conversion in C++. Mahashweta,
Yes, ma'am.
you could not write the whole program.
No, especially that part of void and scope operator, that part I could not write.
Okay, let me show, unmute and let me show you.
Okay.
Now is it visible? I am dictating include #include iostream using namespace standard class add opening curly brace private. You may write, you may not write, then colon. This is the format. Okay, this is the format you have to write inside the class. Private you may write or may not write. If you write private, give a colon, then the very member data name. These are called member data, INTAB. Then write public. This is again another access specifier. Then void sum, void result, then closing curly braces, then a semicolon. Up to this, Mahashweta, up to this you have written.
Yes, ma'am. Up to this I have written.
Okay. Now how you will come out of the class. That means you have come out of the class. Class is closed here. Class is end. Here class is end. Now you have come out of the class. Then write the function return type. What is the return type of a function? Tell me what is the return type of the function? Sum,
Ma'am, it's void.
void. So write down void. What is the class name? What is the class name? Class name is add.
Add.
So void add. Then scope resolution operator. What is scope resolution operator? A double colon.
Yes, ma'am.
Double colon. Then the name of the function is, once it is sum, another time it is result. So you whatever you want to write the under sum function, you write sum, and the instructions of sum function is this one. So what is the instruction? C out, enter two numbers, C in double greater than symbol A, extraction operator, B. Then another same time, void is the return type of the result function, then the class name add, double colon, that means scope resolution operator result. What is the body of the result? C out, sum is A plus B. Now clear, Mahashweta?
Yes, sir. Could you please show the C out sum that part?
Kunta?
Could you show me the C out
C out.
of the void add result?
C out, sum is A plus B.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone? Any confusion? Bolo. What is your name? Rohit Pandey, bolo. For the time being, this is the perfect format of a C++ program. You can do so many things with after completion of the C++ this class. I will show you very different types of calling, so many things it can be done. But this is the structure of a class. So you have to learn first. Okay? First learn these basic concepts, then you go into the advance. एडवांस में तो बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है. बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है, but this is the basic foundation. Your question will be on this platform, from this platform only. In whenever you will do a project in that means back end DBMS, front end C++, you can do so many things. I will show you everything, but later on. But now, for the time being, concentrate on the basic structure of a class, how this has been come, how we are writing the basic things. Okay, we are creating a class, we are writing the body of the function, then we are creating main function, we are calling the function. These things this is the steps. Okay, so what is there, what you have learned what is a class, what is access specifier, what is scope resolution operator, what is object, what is dot operator, what is member data, what is member function. So these things you have learned. Anyone, any confusion on this part? These things, everything you can define na. Class, access specifier, scope resolution operator, object, dot operator, member data, member function. Write down the code definition of object. What is an object? Write down what is an object. Object is an instance of a class. Object is an instance of a class. Until and unless you are creating an object, no memory is allocated to your class. You may be writing 2 or 3 page lengthy program, but no memory will be allocated until and unless you are creating an object. And at the moment you are creating the object, the memory is allocated to your program. So object is an instance of a class. Instance of a class.
Member data, please.
Member data. Member data inside the class. Inside the class. Always remember, inside the class is having much importance. Inside the class, whatever you are declaring as data, that is called member data. By default, member data is private. So this should be your definition. Member data, whatever the data we are declaring inside the class, that is member data, and member data by default they are private. Member function, whatever the functions we are declaring inside a class, that becomes member function. Member function always we keep, not by default. We keep member functions public. If you don't write private or public, then everything becomes private. If you don't write anything private or public, then everything becomes what? Private. Okay? Now see one very important or interesting thing. Suppose I am writing main again, okay, for the add class, int main. Add ob1 dot a equal to 10, ob1 dot b equal to 20, ob1 dot add sum, ob1 dot result. So these things I have written. Now what will be the output? This program does not give any error. The first I have given just earlier, that program will run perfectly. But this program will give error in this 2 line. ob1 dot a, that means this is, what is this? Main is outside the class. Okay, So outside the class private things cannot be accessed directly. Outside the class public things can be accessed directly. Outside the class private things cannot be accessed directly. Outside the class public things can be accessed directly. Now OB A and B are private. So I am accessing a private thing directly with the dot operator, the object. So this line will give error. That means this hides the data. Secret data is secret, and public means there is no error. They are public, so I can access outside the class directly. Everyone clear? This is the basic concept of a class. Now I will illustrate the properties of a class. Everyone? Anyone? Clear हुआ ना? Which one? This one. Don't bother about what am I writing. If anything important or you need to write, I will flash the camera on that. For कुछ तो परेशानी होगा ना ऑनलाइन क्लास में. You have to you have to support me. Which one, Bisho? Which one? Last means which last? This one? This one? Now? Okay. देखो whatever I have written. Balaguruswamy, everyone is having Balaguruswamy C++. At least Herbert Shield, forget about this book. You will need one book so that you can be familiar with the C++ code. बालागुरुस्वामी खरीदो. बालागुरुस्वामी लाइब्रेरी तो अभी नहीं है. यू विल नॉट एक्सेस योर लाइब्रेरी, बट ऑनलाइन भी हो सकता है, फ्री भी मिल सकता है. कहीं कहीं से बालागुरुस्वामी कलेक्ट करो और देखो कैसे प्रोग्राम लिखा जाता है. आई हैव रिटन हियर अनदर प्रोग्राम. देखो अनदर प्रोग्राम. This is a program of same class add, private int abc, public void add1. So why I have this is add, class name is add. I cannot keep a function name as class name, so I have given add1, then function symbol, then cout, enter two numbers c in a b, void result c equal to a plus b, C out sum is a plus b, C out sum is c. So two times output will be shown. Once it will show by adding a plus b, another time it will show sum is c. A plus b equal to c, so c will display the summation. Now class is closed here. Earlier class has been closed before defining the functions. Now I am defining the function inside the class. This way also you can do. You can make a note. You can make a note of this program. Earlier I have shown one program using scope resolution operator. This is a program without scope resolution operator. The same program without scope resolution operator, with scope resolution operator. So you can make a copy of this one. Visible? Copy is visible. You can write down this one. व्हाट्सएप में मैं वो तो कुछ प्रोग्राम करके मैं भेज दूंगी, ठीक है. int main add ob. Here I have given the object name as ob. OB dot, always you have to access the functions using dot operator, using object and dot operator. OP dot add one, OB dot result. हुआ? Okay, now properties of class. Properties of class is the last to be discussed for today. Properties of class or properties of object oriented programming. So number 1, abstraction, data encapsulation, data hiding. Number 4, polymorphism. Number 5, inheritance. These are the main 5 properties of a class. Properties of abstraction, data encapsulation, data hiding, polymorphism, inheritance. What is data abstraction? Data abstraction means hiding the background details. Hiding the background details is data abstraction. How it hides the data? Keeping it private. Okay, keeping it private, it hides the suppose your mobile phone. So what is public? What you have kept inside your phone, that means some app, WhatsApp, everything is secret. So you are hiding your information from outside the user, but something is public. Your phone number is public, everyone knows the public, so it is a function. And other things what you have kept secret, that is your data. This is just like a class mobile phone. Something is private, something is public. So hiding the background details, that means what you are using, what you are doing using your phone. You are doing WhatsApp, what messages you are sending to your friends, to your parents. These things are hidden. Only you know, because you insert a app lock. Sometimes you give app lock so that no one can access your data. You give a password to your phone, so only others know your number. That is public. Everything is secret. Data encapsulation means combination of data and function together inside a class is called data encapsulation. Combination of member data, member function. Don't write member data, member function. Write combining data and function together inside the class is called data encapsulation. Combining data and function together inside a class is called data encapsulation. Is it visible? Combining data and function together inside a class is called data encapsulation. Is it visible, Mohashita?
Yes, ma'am.
বুঝতে অসুবিধা হলে বলবে। Okay, so what are the properties has been discussed? Abstraction, data encapsulation, data hiding. we keep the data private, na? We keep the data private. So only inside the class it is accessible. Outside the class it is not accessible. That is called data hiding. I am not writing, I am dictating, you can write. Inside the class data is kept private. By default data is private. So this is data hiding. Outside the class it is not accessible. Whenever inside the main we have seen ob1.a is giving error. Okay, this is data hiding. Now polymorphism is a big one. So polymorphism, let me discuss polymorphism. Polymorphism poly means many, morph means form. So many form of what? Many form of functions, operators is supported in object oriented programming. Many form of functions is called function overloading. Many forms of operators is called operator overloading, and these two are called compile time polymorphism. See, okay. So polymorphism, poly means many, morph means form, many form of functions and operators. Many form of functions is called function overloading, many forms of operators is called operator overloading. These two together is called compile time polymorphism. Another polymorphism is runtime polymorphism.